You're gonna get to the point in your life where everything you work for, everything you do, it's just gonna feel so heavy to the point where you can't even proceed. You start to get those depressing thoughts. You start feeling like you're not enough. But all it is that you're just stuck. Or you think that you're stuck. You have the ideas, you have the goals and the motivation, but it feels like you're running a marathon that doesn't end. And if I didn't change these 5 things, I would probably still be stuck where I was before. So the first thing I did was I stopped consuming and started creating. My phone addiction was so bad, I was scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, even Snapchat for hours and hours, convincing myself that I'm learning from other content creators like Brett Scales, and all I was doing was just hiding because I was afraid of failing. I was afraid of what others might think. So I made a rule for myself. Instead of waking up, scrolling through Instagram, checking what that girl posted, I have to wake up and immediately start working on my goals. And for me, that's recording and scripting a new YouTube video, clipping it up, posting it on TikTok. And when I was done, maybe that's when I would consume that motivational content, that educational content. So when you wake up and immediately get to working on your goals, I feel like it kind of offsets that feeling of being stuck. Not only are you giving yourself a good start to the day, but it's like you're breaking a cycle. So when you start creating instead of consuming, that's when you stop being the spectator and you start becoming the main character. And the second thing is I started doing the boring stuff consistently. You know, when you feel stuck, it's easy to chase new habits, new strategies, new forms of dopamine. But what actually changed my life was doing the boring stuff I hated to do. Small things on my list is journaling, breath work, reading. And if I'm not busy at all, I'm at home doing nothing, I would use that extra time to work on my YouTube channel, whether that was scripting a new video, recording a new video, or just studying another content creator. These small tasks give you momentum because it teaches you how to be comfortable with being alone. You know, most people crumble under pressure because they rely on others for help. But when you do the small things every day by yourself, because nobody's gonna sit there and meditate with you, nobody's gonna sit there and journal with you. What do majority of people do when they get together? They either drink, go party. And when you do that year after year, you really don't know who you are. So when you get comfortable with the boring stuff, all that's gonna do is show you who you really are. All the small things are gonna do is give you momentum because you're not overcomplicating things. And the third thing is I cut off the voices that made me doubt myself. Sometimes those voices that make you doubt yourself, it's not always physical. It's not always something you can hear. You know, sometimes when I scroll through Instagram, when I see all these people partying in these exotic cars, in college having fun, I start doubting my own life. Am I doing the right thing? Why are they having a good life and my life is just getting worse, I feel like? Honestly, my life is the complete opposite. All I do is work, stay home. I even dropped out of school. And I definitely don't drive an exotic car. But the voice in this scenario is Instagram. You know, I didn't get off Instagram because I thought all those people were bad. It's because I was feeding myself all these terrible thoughts. I was putting myself in a loop, telling myself I'm not good enough. When in reality, what I see online is not reality. I was feeling less of myself because I wasn't living somebody else's life. And the physical voices, it could be family, friends telling you in your ear that your plan, your idea, your business isn't gonna work. If someone you know or love doesn't support your dream or your grind, you should distance yourself from them, even if it's family. Depending on what you're doing, you should only take constructive criticism for others that are in the position you want to be. And the fourth thing on my list is that I started doing the hard things alone. The majority of my life, I have seen people always wait for the perfect time to start doing things, to start taking action. They wait for somebody else's permission or validation, and when that never comes, sometimes they never start. They never live their real life, they never live out their purpose. And some people never find out who they truly are, all because they were waiting for the perfect moment. When I realized my family wasn't gonna save me, not even my closest friends, that's when I knew nobody was going to walk this path with me. I do everything by myself now, whether that's eating at a restaurant, going to the gym, going to the mall. I post videos every other day even though nobody is watching. The moment you start doing things on your own, you don't need somebody else's company, you don't need somebody else's permission, that's when you're gonna start winning. And the last thing is I gave myself permission to reinvent who I was. Honestly, feeling stuck could be God telling you maybe this path wasn't for you. Maybe there is something else calling your name that you need to be doing. The version that played it safe, the version that took no action, I had to bury that old version of me and reinvent myself. Sometimes the feeling of being stuck could be a way of God telling you maybe there's a different calling in your life. Maybe you're not supposed to be doing this. So a little longer than a year ago, the harsh reality of my basketball dreams was over. I dropped out of college and I quit pursuing the sport I really loved, the sport I was playing every day. And when I see most people in a situation similar to that, they always fall off in life. And that was my worst fear. For most people, the sport that they love, that is their whole identity. That is what they live by, that is what they sleep by. You know, growing up it felt that way, but when I quit this sport, It gave me the opportunity to be reborn. It gave me the opportunity to see who I truly was. And that's what finally set me free. So if you're feeling stuck right now, I want you to know that it's not permanent, but you have to do what it takes to get out of that situation. Nobody's coming to do it for you. Your parents aren't going to save you. Your friends aren't going to ride along the journey with you. Just know there's another version of you on the other side that is already building, that's already winning. All that version of you is doing is waiting for you to catch up. And you will be surprised how fast you feel free.